What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Seton Hill Studios. The weekend's almost over, but we're going to cap it off with a banger. We got a two-part Dan Vasc video coming in as a request from Linda, one of our Patreon members. So thank you so much, Linda. Linda's a big supporter of the channel. You see her around in the comments section. She's one of our patrons, and she's always bringing in the good recommendations and tons of info to us and to the comments section. So we really appreciate you, Linda. Thank you so much. So what we're looking at, we got part one of Dawn of Victory, which is a Rhapsody of Fire cover. And so from what I gather, doing a little research, a little backstory on it, is that this is a band that heavily influenced Dan in his sound and his production, and just his overall, I guess he called it his heavy metal. So, you know, I hear heavy metal influence and I'm like, okay, I've never heard of Rhapsody of Fire. And I haven't honestly listened to a whole lot of Dan. Steven's done several reactions to Dan, and I just haven't really delved into it like he has. So I'm a newbie to the Dan, so go easy on me. But I know he's a fantastic singer, multifaceted, can cover any genre, and everything that he's done that I have heard has been crazy epic. So I'm sure this is going to be no different. It's going to be awesome. But before we get into it, a couple ways you guys can continue to support the channel. You can right here on YouTube become a channel member, or head on over to Patreon. Both of those are going to get you access to all sorts of exclusive perks and features. And then, as always, for a one-time donation on Buy Me a Coffee, you can get a priority request and guarantee that one of us will react to it and check it out. All right, y'all, this is going to be epic. Let's get into it. All right, y'all, here we go. Dan Vasc doing a Rhapsody of Fire cover, the song Dawn of Victory. So this is a two-parter because we're actually looking at this version, which I looked like is from about 7 years ago. And this was, according to the description on the video, the first cover that he ever fully produced himself in his studio. So obviously he sang it, but it also said that he programmed all the instrumentation with MIDI VSTs. So super excited to hear it. I've been on that side of it where you have to program everything. It's not easy, but it can sound great if you know what you're doing. And from everything I understand, Dan knows what he's doing. So I'm sure it's going to be awesome. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Love that riff. Before we even get going any further, I can honestly say I don't think I've ever heard of horns in a metal song, which I think is super cool. Right off the bat, the production quality is great. If those aren't horns and I'm mishearing, let me know, but I'm pretty confident in saying that those are like a legitimate horn section, which is crazy to me, but so cool. How ideas like that can come to fruition. And it's like, oh, I should put horns in this, you know, double bass beat metal song. And it's like, huh? And then you do it, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's awesome. Shoot. All right. I interrupted it so early, but I felt like I had to call that out. That's super cool. Now we got a whole string section in here.
Raging on the battlefield, and everyone is fighting the war of the kings. The army of Dargon, the thunder, the storm. So people are caught in the brave and the storm. No time left to save the white throne. Chains of the bats not so far to forget. The rights of the demons from the bloody hell. So come mighty warrior to light the lost hope. Put arrows a dragon in your cosmic soul. Now hang down your end metal sword.
So his voice is killer. I've heard bits and pieces of some of the other videos that Steven's done. I've seen some stuff come up in shorts and videos on the algorithm, but I've never really sat down and listened to him. I've just heard that he was amazing, and holy crap, his voice is killer. And this is just some metal stuff. So like I've heard he can do all kinds of stuff. I guess this is kind of maybe his sweet spot. Maybe he's just so good that he doesn't really have a sweet spot. Everything is his sweet spot. But yeah, for this kind of stuff, no brainer. It reminds me of like I don't know how old Rhapsody of Fire is, but like some 80s metal stuff, which I love. I was born in the late 80s, but my dad loved like hair metal, power metal stuff, so listened to it all growing up. So this is a throwback for me. I love stuff like this. And honestly, like I said in the intro to the video, if you can program well, then the MIDI stuff doesn't necessarily sound like MIDI stuff. And for this to be 7 years ago, and he's saying this is the first thing that he ever produced, shoot, it's only up from here, and it already sounds amazing. It sounds great. He did a fantastic job. I love, I guess this was his first studio that he finished or was working on. And I love when people they just commit. They're just like, you know what? It may not be perfect. I may not have the best space, but I'm just going to go all in. I'm going to put myself out there, and it's paid off. I mean, he's almost about to hit like 1 million subscribers or something on YouTube, and he's crazy talented. He's got the drive. He's got the determination, and he's got the voice, and he deserves every bit of it. Whew, man.
Cross of war, for the holy town of God's Gloria, Gloria perpetua. In this dawn of victory.
I love that riff. I still can't get over the horns, man. That's so cool to me how that just got worked in. Yeah, like I just like if I was describing this somewhere, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a trumpet in this metal song. They're like, there's no way I'm selling that. But then you hear it and it's like, oh yeah, that trumpet belongs in this song. And I don't know, 7 years ago there was a lot of good VST MIDI plugins out. But he did a great job, not only picking the sounds, but producing it well and mixing it as well. Like, this is a well-mixed recording. For this to have been like his first thing that he put out, and he kind of did it all himself. Dude, he's not just a face. He's not just a voice. Like, he's the real deal. This is awesome.
The ride of the den and the practice of pain is following him as a terrific queen. Closer and closer, now follow the smell. With your holy arm with the steel in your hand, fly angel of bloody revenge. For answer, Lord, the ancient cross of war.
He's so into it.
For the holy town of God's Gloria, Gloria perpetua. In this dawn of victory.
I'm going to take it back to the start of that guitar solo. One, I want to know, and I feel like I already know the answer, so don't roast me in the comments. I'm going to go on and assume that he's doing all of those vocals. I know that's been the case in several other videos, so I don't know why this would be any different. And clearly he's capable of doing it all. But yeah, to be able to do all of that, I mean, that's a wide range of vocals, to be able to hit all of those, big, almost like tribal war shouting style vocals. And then he's just belting out this high range, like power metal stuff. He's got range. And I didn't really know. I knew he was crazy talented, but watching this stuff is so eye-opening, and I'm glad that stuff like this gets recommended and requested, because it really is eye-opening to the crazy amount of talent that's out there in the world. And this dude's top tier. I love it. Now, it sounded like there was about to be a crazy guitar solo here, and if he programmed this, that just makes it all the more impressive to me, because I don't know if he plays an instrument or if he's just a singer. I know he has a band. I think they're called Fearless, and I think he's just like the front man, lead singer, probably writer, arranger for all of that. Don't know if he plays an instrument. If he does, let me know. But the programming on this has been spot on so far, and I cut it off like the first couple seconds of the guitar solo, and so I'm going to roll it back. But I feel like there's an epic guitar solo about to happen, and those are not easy necessarily to program. So I'm ready to hear it. I'm excited. I love how it opened up there. Okay. That little bass and guitar run together at the end was dope. I love that. I don't know if that's part of the original song or not, or if this is something where he kind of went his own way, or if he did it note for note and verbatim like the original. But either way, that was sick. I want to hear that again. I just want to pop the last little bit of that solo. Most replayed. Makes sense. I find that a lot when I find something that catches my eye, and then I go and I scroll back. I'm like, oh, I'm not alone. I'm not crazy. That was really super cool. I'm going to go back a little bit more just to make sure we hear it. That was sick. I love that drop there. So that section has popped up multiple times. I guess it's part of the chorus, but it's almost like a military cadence when it goes to that snare section there. It sounds like they're just marching off to war. And I would, song Dawn of Victory is the name of the title, and even with the lyrics that he's been, singing this entire time, I would assume that has something to do with it. But that, it sounds like it's just, that amps you up. It's like, it gets your blood pumping, like you're just ready to go, ready just to march off with that section. That's so cool. What a cool song, man. I've never heard of these guys before. They play a similar style of music, like I said earlier, to what I grew up on. So it's kind of crazy. I don't know if they're from the United States or if they're Brazilian, maybe I may have read. I'm not really for sure. But this Rhapsody of Fire band is killer. And if they sound anything like what Dan programmed, I need to check some of them out too.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, here's the annotation link to another one that you may enjoy. Here's also my website, danvasc.com, if you want to know more about me and my work. There I'm always posting cool articles about singing, creativity, and music career. Also find me on my social medias and check my metal band Fearless. Links below in the
Fearless,
description.
I was right, it is
We
this
just
band.
finished the entire production of our first full album, and more news about the release will come out soon. Stay tuned and see ya!
Ooh, Dan. Man. See if there's anything else that's coming up on the end here. All right. Whew. Come on, Dan. He has a crazy way of just kind of drawing you in. Like you can tell just in his facial expressions and his arm movements and everything, just the way that he interacted with the song. He's alone in a room, right? Like it's just him in his studio singing. So that could be kind of weird, but you can just tell like this song means a lot to him. This band means a lot to him. I think I read in the description, I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, that he felt like this band was like the biggest grouping or collection kind of his musical personality. So I would imagine they had a huge influence on him. Woo-wee. Dan Vasc. I've heard a lot. I'd only heard a little bit before just now, but man, what a talent. That dude, his vocals blew me away, right? And I think that's kind of where everybody kind of lives because he's obviously well known for being a singer. I had no idea that his range was like that. I really didn't even know that he was, I didn't even really know that he was like the metal stuff was his thing. But wow, what an introduction for me. Like I said, this was the first time that I really sat down and like listened to one of his songs all the way through, or one of his videos all the way through. And man, excellent singer, crazy good producer. Who would have thought? I thought he was just a voice, but I guess I underestimated him. He is crazy talented. He's someone that I would say there are people that are vocalists and singers. This dude, he's a musician. He's a producer. He's got it. Whatever it is, this dude's got it. Crazy talented. Enjoyed this one a lot. Stay tuned because we're going to have part 2 coming up. And this is going to be a modern, well, I say modern, a more recent version of the same song. And from what I understand, he did this one as a duo with the singer from the band. So it's going to be epic. I know his production quality has gone through the roof. His audio quality's probably gone through the roof as well. And so I know that this next one is going to be epic. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you get made aware every time we drop new content, and we'll see you on the next one.